we want to start with trigonometry, okay? Now trigonometry, dealing with triangles and angles, triangles and their angles. Now, right, dealing with angles, we're looking at what we call the positive angles and the negative angles. The positive angles are the angles that are measured in anti-clockwise direction. So anti-clockwise direction is that direction. For example, 30 from the horizontal line to go up like this. Then that is anti-clockwise direction. Then the negative angles are always angles that are measured in clockwise direction. So you have clockwise direction, if that is our line. So from that line, I'll be going down like that. Then it will become clockwise direction, like a normal clock. You know a normal clock, yes. Now coming to what we call a cast diagram. A cast diagram gives us or indicates to us the positioning of our angles. Angles are located or are positioned. So we have the first quadrant, we have the second quadrant, we have the third quadrant, we have the fourth quadrant. These quadrants indicate to us which position, and each position, how does it relate to the trig functions or to the trigonometric functions and trigonometric ratios, as we will see. Now look at this, that's 0 to 90, 90 to 180, 180 to 270. Right. So dealing with as diagram, in the first quadrant, that is from 0 to 90, let's choose any angle. If you can choose any angle, take sine of that angle, it will give you positive. Cos of that angle, for example 46, it will give you a positive. Tan of that angle will give you a positive. That means in the first quadrant, all the trig ratios will give you a positive. All of them will give you a positive. Coming to the second quadrant, look at that as between 90 and 180. Take any angle, for example 130. Take sine of 130 to give you a positive. Take cos of 130 to give you a negative. Take tan of 130 to give you a negative. That means only sine in that case. It will be only sine ratio that will give you a positive. So in the second quadrant, sine will give you a positive. In the third quadrant, that's between 180 and 270. For example, take any angle, for example 182. You have sine 182 to give you a negative. Cos 182 will give you a negative. Tan 182 will give you a positive. And then that means only tan will give you a positive. So only tan is positive in the third quadrant altogether. In the fourth quadrant, that's between 180 and 270. In the fourth quadrant, that's the fourth quadrant, there choose any angle, for example 300. It's between 270 and 360. That means sine 300 will give you a negative, cos 300 will give you a positive, and then tan 300, you take a calculator, then you put it in you get a negative there. So only cos ratio here will give you a positive, meaning in the fourth quadrant only cos is positive. So looking at an example, there's an example given. Decide whether the following functions are positive or negative. We want to decide, is it a positive or a negative? So what I'll do, I'll check the angle. I'll come to the angle. For example, in this case, it's 311. So what I'll do, I'll take 311 and locate it in my cast diagram. Where is it? Is it between 0 and 90? No. Is it between 0 and 180? No. Is it between 180 and 270? No. It's between 270 and 360. It's between 270 and 360. So this angle is located somewhere here, 311. So if it's located here, what is happening here? From what I know here cos ratio is positive in the fourth quadrant. So here cos is positive. So I'll come there. Since it's only cos that is positive, therefore this becomes negative because this is tan. So tan will be negative there. Are we together? Then I'll go to cos, that is cos 200. I will locate the angle 200. Where is it located? 200 is located between 180 and 270. So if 200 is here, what is happening there? What is happening there? From this, in the third quadrant, I know the third quadrant, what is 10? 10 is positive. So if 10 is positive here, that means the rest of the trig functions are negative. But we are given cos there. So I know cos is negative there. So I'll come there and say this is a negative. Coming to the next one, C. C is 110. 110 lies between 90 and 180. And here, you know, sign is positive. Sign is positive there. Since that angle lies here, then sign is positive there. So if it's sign there, then it becomes positive right there. By coming to C, to D, coming to D, sine negative 10. Negative 10 is a negative angle. Look at this. If it's a negative angle, I'll come to the explanation of the negative angle. The negative angle is angle measured in a clockwise direction. So if it's a negative angle in this case, all those angles are positive because we are going on this side. But since it's a negative angle, there are two ways to do that. If it's a negative angle, therefore, I'll measure it not going that side. Are you together? I'll measure the angle going the other side, which is the clockwise direction. So in the clockwise direction, the negative angle will end up in the fourth quadrant. So negative 10 will lie there in the fourth quadrant. So if negative 10 lies in the fourth quadrant, and in the fourth quadrant only cos is positive, and this is sine. In the negative quadrant, sine is negative. Is that okay? So if it's a negative, therefore, now this becomes also a negative. So when it comes to negative angle, the negative angle is measured in a clockwise direction. So instead of going up, it would have, if it's a positive, it would have ended up in the first quadrant. But since it's a negative, it will end up in the fourth quadrant. Why? Because it's measured clockwise direction. So it's measured in the clockwise direction, then it ends up in the fourth quadrant. And the fourth quadrant sign is negative. E, I'm seeing angle 480. Look at this. 480. Now, this system will continuously be in a revolution from 0 to 90, 90 to 180, 180 to 270, 270 to 360. What is being added? We're keeping on adding 90 degrees. So I'll say 360 plus 90, then I'll come to 450. 450 plus 90, I'll get 540, like that. And then continuously like that. So I'll keep on adding plus 1 and plus 90 plus 90, like that. Now, that means if I'm dealing with angle 480, 480 will lie between 450, this is 450, and 540. It lies between 450 and 540. Are you there? If it lies between 450 and 540, that means it will end up in the second quadrant. If it's the second quadrant, in the second quadrant, sine is positive. Only sine is positive. And tan is negative. So if tan is negative in the second quadrant, that means we'll get a negative